Hey there, fellow SGK users. Poker here. Today I'm going to show you a little guide here on how to get the just the basic movements from the game animation sample. We're going to do like just run, walk, uh, crouch, jump, and then the idles. So your character will move around like this, and it works with the weapons too. So I mean, it's pretty easy once you're past all getting all the game animation sample stuff set up as far as getting the animations in and all that, actually getting it to work with the weapons and stuff like that on SGK is like so super simple. It's amazing. But anyway, just a couple of disclaimers. There are a couple issues like with jump. It doesn't like to jump when you're running for some reason. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I'm sure somebody will figure that out. And of course, this is a experimental plugin, so there's always going to be issues, but hopefully they'll get it up and running a lot better sooner or later. And just to note, this is the latest version of Survival Kit that I'm working on. But I will be working on this one. This particular one right here is actually 2.4.5. I think the other one's the next one up. But anyway, and it is Unreal 5.4. It should be pretty much the same for 5.5. And there's a huge shout out to, let's see, where is it? This guy here, Kartoon Develop Tips. I used his guide to get it game animation sample working and then integrated it into the survival game kit. So I would definitely recommend subscribing to this guy because he's got some other more advanced tutorials coming, as well as one or two right now. I haven't actually gotten into the second ones yet, but second and third one, but probably after this I'm going to go ahead and do that. But this will get you started, get the basics in, so you have this type of movement right here. All right, so, and just to show you, this is standard survival kit right here too. This is what your normal movement is, so it's definitely a huge improvement. All right, and also if you notice there's footsteps in this one, that's another thing that's going to be not so much a fun part of this project, is replacing all of the footstep sounds, because you're going to have to do that in the 400 plus some animations that come with the game animation sample, unless somebody knows an easier way to do it besides just replacing the notifies in each one. The good news is they're already there. Maybe you can set up new notifies that use that same name. I'm not sure, but anyway, that's one other thing that's going to be done. But anyway, let's get started here. All right, first thing you want to do is we're going to need a couple plugins here. Oops, not project settings, we need plugins. First one we need is the motion trajectory. Of course, that's experimental. We need pose search. And chooser. Oops. So download those, restart, or install those 3 plugins, restart. And also, if you don't have it already, you're going to want to get the game animation sample project. So go ahead and do that. And while this is loading, we'll go ahead and take care of that. Let's see. All right, so what we're going to want to do here on the game animation sample project is you're going to go into characters, UEFN mannequin, animations. And then for now, we just want crouch, idle, jump, run, and walk. Right click and migrate. We don't need audio, we don't need blueprints. All we need is what's in the UEFN mannequin folder. So untick those two there. And you want to migrate it into, let's see, I have that one in here. Migrate it into our project. All right, so now we have these animations in here. Wait, are we missing one? I think we're missing one. Crouch, didn't get crouch. Oops. How did I not get crouch? I could have swore I clicked it. All right, anyway. So first thing we want to do here in our project is go into the survival game kit folder, animations, and go ahead and make a folder in here. We'll just call this. What is that for now? We'll call it motion matching. You can organize your animations however you want. We're going to do it like this for now. You can always move them later. And first thing we're going to do is make folders for each of the animations that we're going to have here. Just makes it a little bit easier to keep track of them. Idle, walk, run, crouch, and then jump. All right, let's check the animation sample here. Go back here. Wait, is it already in there? So which one's missing? There was only 4 folders in there. And crouch is not there. Why does it say it's there? I don't get it. All right, whatever. Oh, it was saying that's the other stuff that was there. Never mind. All right. Now our crouch is there. All right, so let's go ahead and select everything in here. Control A. Actually, we don't need to. Oh, yeah, we do. And then we don't. Just retarget. Manny. Make sure it's the one in your survival game kit in case you have any other projects there. And then we're going to go ahead. Which folder are we doing here? Crouch. Search for crouch. And select all the crouch animations. And we're going to put those into our motion matching crouch folder. And I'll cut the rest out for the video's sake, but you want to go ahead and do the same thing for run, idle, jump, walk. So one thing, you don't need to add any of the additive animation. So when you get to the retarget and you're looking for run, just don't click on that one. Just click on just the green ones. All right, so now that we got all of our animations retargeted, let's go ahead and get to work on this. So, and you could technically just delete this folder right now if you wanted to, now that we've got everything copied over, but we'll just leave it. But anyway, all right, first thing we need is we're going to go to animation, motion matching, and we need a schema, the bottom one here, pose search schema. We want to set that to our mannequin for SGK. And we will call that PSC, or PSS, sorry. Pose search schema. And we'll just go ahead and call this Manny for now. And there's some stuff in here that we're going to get to a little bit later. For now, we just need this. This is the base. everything else is based off of. So next, let's make a new folder here. We'll call it database. Databases. Go in here, right click, then we want animation, motion matching. Then we need a pose search database. And we want to select our Manny. We're going to call this pose search database, so PSD. And we'll call this one walk. Now let's go ahead and duplicate it. We need one for each one of our categories. And crouch. Now these basically are our little holders for the animations. If you want to know a little bit more about this stuff, I suggest watching the video that I showed earlier at the beginning of this tutorial from Kartoon. And because he goes a little bit more into what they do. And this is, you can actually do quite a bit with this because in the animation database, they have these things broken down a lot more than they do than we're doing here. That's how you're going to, probably how you would do all the sliding and all that. And you could actually use these once you get some good motion matched animations for your weapons. You could use these as well, I do believe. So, but that's it for another day. Anyway, we're going to go and get this set up. So let's go ahead and go to crouch here. And we're going to go to our crouch folder here. You can just highlight one and then Control A, that selects everything. Drag it in, save it. Go to the next one. Actually, we'll skip idle. Oh no, we do idle. All we, yeah, that's all we need for idle. Jump. Oops. And finally walk. All right, and then now if you see you have some land walks in here, we want to go ahead and get rid of anything that says land in here in our walk S or database, and then also same thing in run. There shouldn't be any in idle or crouch. Yeah. So yeah, delete those from there. All right, so those are our databases. Those control all of our animations for each one of those settings there. So now what we need to do is something that tells us or tells the game which one of these to use at any given time. And that is a chooser. For some reason it's not categorized, or I'm not sure where it is anyway. So just search the very top for chooser table. We'll call that CHT Manny. Open that up here. Over here on the right, under input, context data, click it. We want a context object type class. That's going to be our animation blueprint, so the ABP third person animation. Leave that as is. Output target object type. You can set it to all kinds of things for, don't ask me what, but for this case we're using the pose search database. That's what we want. All right, and then over here we're going to add a row as an asset. Then we need 4 more, one for each one of our movement types that we have. And we'll go ahead and idle, walk, run, jump, and then crouch. And we'll go ahead and save that for now. All right, so what that does is this thing actually, since it's connected to our third person animation blueprint, we can get information from our animation blueprint here. And this little table decides which one of these pose databases to use. So you can see here we have our information, but we're going to need a couple more things here because we also need is crouching, and we need one more bool, which would be, we'll go ahead and do that to is jumping, but there is an issue with is jumping. We'll take a look at that later, but I mean, you can set all kinds of conditions here, so you can imagine the things that you could set up in here and have it all based on things that are going on inside of your animation blueprint. So, but for now, we're good here. So let's see. Let me take a look here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and on the idle, we want to set this to false, that to false, and then we want this to be true. And everything here except for jump to be false, and then we want jump to be true. And then for speeds, these are all based off of the video from Kartoon, so these can all be adjusted to your liking. But this is where it goes. You get for walk, for idle we want 0, 0. Walk we want 1 to 301. Run we want 302 to 999. Jump we leave at 0. And then for crouch we want 0 to 999. Because this is only going to matter if you're actually crouching, so we don't really care what speed we're going here. Same thing for jump. It's not going to matter what speed we're going if jump is true. So, all right. So now, what we're going to do, let's go ahead and set some settings on this guy right here, the posed search database that we need to add. And again, this is from Kartoon's video on how to set up the game animation sample. So, and it works. So we're just going by what he's got here. So let's go ahead and take a look. See what we got. First thing we want to do, channel index 1 or 0. Sorry. Under samples, I don't think we need to set anything on this one, if I'm correct. Remember correctly. Yeah, I don't see anything added here yet. Actually, there is one thing we need to do under channels here. This bar where we have 2 indexes now, we want one more. That's going to be called heading channel. And under that, we want to set our bone to pelvis. And we want to set heading axis to Y. And then component stripping to strip X. I do believe that is all that we set here. Let me double check. Oh, yep, no, we need one more. We need a sampled bones. One more here. And that's also going to be pelvis. And then nothing else changes on that. All right. Now, what we want to do is go ahead and duplicate that and call it jump. PSS jump, because something about the way the jumping works, we need to add some more stuff to it to make it look correct. So let's go ahead and take a look here on our new jump one. Index 0. Under samples, we are going to change some stuff here. So under 1, we are going to set the offset to -0.2. And we're going to change position XY to just position. And set our weight here to 0.25. Oops. All right, index 1. We are going to get rid of velocity XY, get rid of facing direction XY. We are going to set velocity direction and facing direction. And then weight, turn it down to 1. Oops. Index 2. Going to set our offset to 0.2. We want velocity, position, and velocity direction. Weight's going to stay the same. And then index 3. We want our offset to be 0.4. Weight to be 0.7. And then we want this to be exactly what it is already. Alright, so that's it under the index 0 of channels. Sampled bones. We don't need this one. And then under the third channel, looks like everything stays the same here. So our jump is set. Now what we need to do is go to the jump database. Then set this here to our jump. Alright, we should almost be there. Alright, so now what we're going to do is go to our third-person animation blueprint from Survival Game Kit. Go to up. Actually, you know what? Let's do this real quick. We'll make it an interface just to make it a little better. So go to other interfaces. What's on here? Wait, yeah, no, we don't need that. Just go to character interface. Add a new interface function. We'll call it get trajectory component. Oops. And then we want a output on it. We'll call that trajectory component. And we want to make this a trajectory character trajectory component object. All right. Now we can go here. And let's see, can we do it in this guy? I don't know if you can find it in here or not. Probably not. Yeah, it needs to be set, which all those are set here. Yeah. It's all right. We can just go to this update here. We're going to get a copy of pawn owner. Try get pawn owner. And we're going to search for our interface that we just made, which was the get trajectory component, the message one. that there. Set that. Oops. And then promote that to a variable. All right. I think that's all we need to do about that part. Now we need to go to the animation graph here. Go up to the top here. We're going to make a new node here called motion matching. This one here under pose search. Then we want, what was that one called? I can't remember the name of it. Hang on a second. History, that's right. Pose history. And on the history, just go ahead and right click on it. Oops. Right click on the trajectory pin here under binding. The trajectory component. That's why we had to add that on the update, so we'd have this here. So it always knows what the trajectory is. And then on the motion matching pin, click on that. Set it to a dynamic value, and then unclick exposes pin. Then we're going to go up here to the functions here, and then on update, create a binding. And in that binding, we are going to need an evaluate chooser. I'm going to set that to our chooser table that we made earlier here. Don't worry about this. This is, I'm not sure why that pin shows up, but we can just leave it. And then we want to set database to search. Results to the database. Go ahead and set this to interrupt on database change. You can set these for different things. I'm not, this watch, what's his name? Can't think of his name now. Kartoon Develop tips. Watch his videos. He probably explains it more in later videos. But we need it on that one for now. And then from here, what we need is a match, convert to motion matching node. And that plugs in here. And that plugs in there. And then this is what decides which one of these to use right here. It's the relay from the animation blueprint to that. All right, and then what last thing we need to do is go to our character and add a trajectory component. Character trajectory, add that. Then under interfaces, get the trajectory component, connect that there. Oh, and one last thing, since we're here, since this does come with a walk, we're going to go ahead and set up a quick walk key here. I made a tutorial for that earlier. If you've already done that one, you don't need to worry about this, but we'll just do this real quick because it does come with the game animation sample. So let's see here. All right, go to under blueprints, controls. We'll just duplicate the sprint input. We'll call it walk. Don't need to change anything on it. Open up SGK character inputs, add a mapping. Set it to our new walk input. Set it to a key. I'm going to go ahead and set it to the left alt. Go back here. Let's go ahead and do walk. We want our enhanced action input walk input. And then we want to go to our player inventory. Your components. And let's see, where can we do that at? Do our movement here. Yeah, why not? Let's duplicate this guy. Call it server walk key. And set it to run on server, reliable. Promote it to a variable. Call it walk key down. And let's see, what else do we need to add to that? All right, let's go ahead and make this into a toggle real quick, just because. So add a branch, flip flop. Connect both there, and connect that to is_a. All right, now what we need to do is see. The easiest way to probably do this for now is just yeah, screw it. Update. Need update max movement speed. And let's see here. Current character state. Go into here. Branch. False is going to be here. Lock key down here. Another movement speed. And from here we want to divide. So we're taking this speed that's coming from here, going to divide it by 2. That's going to set our walk speed. And do the same thing for this branch up here. This is just a quickie on this here. All right, so now we have a walk. No, we don't fully yet. We still need to get a player inventory. We need server walk key. Duplicate it. That one uncompleted. That one unstarted. Tick the top one on, the one unstarted on. And let's take a look here. Should just be standard character. Take this guy here. Plug it in here. And now we have our movement. Again, jump is kind of weird. I'm not sure exactly what's causing that. Like, it works if you're not moving, but if you're moving, it keeps playing that animation it's not supposed to. Anyway, as you can see, we have a problem here. We can't hold our weapon correctly. Well, Here's how we fix that. All motion matching basically is a replacement for the standard locomotion slate machine. So all you gotta do is plug that in right there. As you can see, we're still working. We still have our motion matching going on. But now we can hold the weapon. And that's it. That's all you need to do to set up motion matching in your SGK project. Hope you guys like this video. Have a good one.